Welcome to the Personal Finance Podcast for Doctors. This podcast aims to simplify all aspects of personal finance and helps you make smart and informed choices about money so that you can live happier and stress-free lives. Today's episode is brought to you by Chanda Verma, who is a financial coach and vice president with the doctor practice at MFA, the only company in India having a dedicated practice for doctors.
Hi. So today I have a test for you. 2 real-life cases, both giant US firms, you would know about them, and you tell me what your opinion is, all right? So there is this tech company A. It has been profitable for many decades, but recently it has fallen prey to smaller and more nimble competitors. It has suffered massive losses over the past 2 years. So the board starts searching for a new CEO and they find a promising candidate. However, there are some problems. The candidate does not understand technology. He does not understand how to sell to businesses because he has not run a business which is into tech till now. He has handled businesses which sells biscuits to consumers. Plus, he's had no experience in turning around any company. And in tech, it's even more complicated. Now, as an investor, when this new CEO takes over, would you invest in this company's shares? Case number 2, a 100-year-old department store, but it has been struggling over falling sales. Past 4 years, its sales have fallen 10% and the operating income has plummeted about 65%. The stock price has also crashed. So the board appoints one of the world's leading retail executives as the new CEO of the business. Now, everything is going great gun for this new CEO because he's had great successes in the past where he made a particular store very appealing to young and trendy consumers. He struck great designer partnerships, which were a huge hit. He was responsible for opening several retail stores all over US. So he hit the ball completely out of the park. His stores had sales even more than those of luxury retailers like Louis Vuitton. Now, once this CEO takes over, would you invest in this business? Would you invest in this company's shares? Think about it. I assume that just like me, I would not buy the shares of the first company, but I would load up on the second one. Maybe you would do the same. But you know what? The truth is we both would be wrong. Both you and I would have missed out on a 7-fold increase in stock price over the next 10 years of the first business that I mentioned. But with the second business, we would have been completely wiped out, 100% loss. The first business, listeners, is IBM, which had its famous turnaround in the late 1990s. And the second business is JCPenney, who was a go-to family retailer in the US. But this died a slow death. After more than a century in business, JCPenney was bankrupt. So the point I wish to make here is that through these examples, what I want to tell you guys is that no one knows a thing about the future. No one can predict. And if anyone couldn't predict such clear-cut cases like I discussed about in the US, what hope do people have in situations which are not clear-cut? You know, let's talk about not so clear-cut case, okay? Meta, our good old Facebook. On 27 July 2022, just last year, Facebook, now Meta, reported weaker than expected revenue and earnings. The stock tumbled 26%. It was the biggest one-day wipeout in the market value ever of a US company. And Meta stock ended 2022 with losses of 65%, was the worst performer. Mark Zuckerberg reiterated his commitment that he would spend billions of dollars building the metaverse. The analysts were quick to downgrade the stock. Morgan Stanley did it. Every other analyst came in with their downgrades. They also said that Meta is not only spending too much, but there is a lot of competition from TikTok. It will be hurt. There will be regulatory woes and challenges thrown by Apple's privacy update, etc. In short, Meta was a simple sell call. And the projection of 2023 didn't seem to be any better. So listening to this wisdom, many people sold, institutions sold, individual investors sold the stock. Fast forward 27 July 2023, a month back. Meta posted second quarter results that beat the analyst expectations. The stock price was up by 9%. It had rallied more than 150% in 2023. And analysts, as you might have guessed, are now singing a different tune. Goldman Sachs and all other analysts came up with upgrades for the stock. So just think about this for a moment. Think about this insanity. Does it even come to you as an insanity? I don't know. I'm sure it does. The point here is that no one knows about the future. So what is the cost of believing that someone really does? Now, do me a favor. Think of all the financial news out there. Think of all the offices that have CNBC playing in the background. Think of all newspapers, magazines that talk about money. Almost all of it is information, just noise. Just like the two companies' news I just spoke about. Sure, every once in a while, I will admit that there is a little tiny speck of information that actually might be useful. But you have to really wade through a lot of garbage to get to it. And this leads to one obvious question that I would like to pose to you. Why are we paying attention to this noise, this garbage in the first place? Yes, some people say it's fun if you're into that kind of thing, but most likely, it's just a waste of time. More importantly, it's expensive because it not only costs you money, it costs you your time, your energy, your attention. So what if, instead of obsessing over all this noise, you use that time to work on that list, the list which is really important to you, the important things you actually want to do with your time. Doesn't that sound so much better than spending another hour watching analysts on CNBC? What do you think? Do think about it. I hope this helps. Cut the noise. Invest your time wisely. Thank you. Take care. God bless.
You were listening to the Personal Finance Podcast for Doctors with Chanda Verma. If you find this podcast relevant and interesting, do share it with other doctors as well. It will be great if you leave a review, share, like and subscribe. You could also let us know if there is any specific topic that you would like us to cover. For any queries or help, you can get in touch with MFA's doctor practice team at 892-800-6140.